Hello and welcome to the 12th week of Season 20, Season of Defiance, starting on May 16th, 2023. So for week 12, let's have a look at our legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Devilian Mists, and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Hive enemies and the Plague Krieger. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Chimera Garrison, which can be located over in the Chamber of Starlight Lost sector on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a mysterious disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, and the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis, also in the Anchor of Light. And the Nightmare hunts this week will be Skolus, Pride, Fanatic, Insanity, and Omnigul, Anguish. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. For the 30th anniversary expansion, we have the loot rotation for Dares of Eternity, which will be on week 4's rotation with the Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set being available. The weapons available this week will be the Stasis Precision Frame Shotgun, Factorthis, the Solar High Impact Frame Auto Rifle, Kraju Milo, the Stasis Precision Frame Hand Cannon, Volpicula, the Arc Precision Frame Bow, Wolftone Draw, the Solar High Impact Frame Fusion Rifle, Iotona Draconis, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Heavy Grenade Launcher, Canis Major, the Arc Vice Rapid Fire Frame Scout Rifle, Contingency Plan, the Kinetic High Impact Frame Pulse Rifle, Legal Action 2, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Heavy Grenade Launcher, Outrageous Fortune, the Void Adaptive Frame Sword, Steel Syllabus C14, and the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Sidearm, Spoiler Alert. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Last Chance, where the modifier is Martyr, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Also this week you will have Altar of Reflection Catalyst and Altar of Reflection Insight. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne World weapon, Veritas armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is Downfall, with extra shields, locked loadouts, and extra champions, Barrier and Unstoppable champions, Solar Threat, Scorched Earth, Kinetic Overcharge, Void and Solar Surges with an overcharge weapon and galvanized on hero difficulty only. The Partition mission will be Ordnance, Contest mode enabled, with Overload and Unstoppable champions, Solar Threat, Void and Strand Shields, Air Superiority modifier with Solar and Strand Surges. And the Vex incursion this week will be Amish Park. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the Pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon exotic mission on the EDZ. Raids and Dungeons. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Nezarec, called All Hands. Each player in your fire team must trigger one node on each side before the damage phase begins. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Acquisition, called Swift Destruction, where Guardians must kill all champions within a few seconds of each other on all rounds. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Confluxes, called Wait For It, where every yellow by Wyvern must be killed as they sacrifice themselves to the Confluxes. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Tanix Part 1, called Of All Trades. Guardians must perform each role at least once, Operator, Scanner and Suppressor. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Embrace, called To the Top. This is where you must not kill the Cyclops that spawns near the Consecrated Mind. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Riven, called Strength of Memory, where Guardians must not shoot the same Riven eye twice. Your Pinnacle raid will be Kingsfall over in the Legends tab, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the 1st encounter, Totems, called The Grass is Always Greener. Players cannot take the same brand type twice in a row. The 2nd encounter, War Priest, called Devious Thievery. Players must steal the brand of the initiate within a couple of seconds of taking the brand claimer's buff. The 3rd encounter, Golgoroth, called Gaze Amaze. The gaze holder must stand in the pool of unclaimed light when swapping the gaze. The 4th encounter, Daughters of Oryx, called Under Construction. Players cannot stand on the same plate twice in a single phase. And the 5th encounter, Oryx, called Hands Off. Players must not kill the same Ogre or Light Eater Knight throughout the encounter. Also, with the Kingsfall being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic scout rifle, Touch of Malice. And the Pinnacle dungeon for this week will be the Grasp of Avarice over on the Cosmodrome. Next up, challenges. We have now had all 76 challenges over the first 10 weeks of the season. So, as a reminder, if you complete 72 out of the 76, you can get a large pile of Bright Dust to spend at the Eververse store in-game. Here's a few that you might have missed that you might want to get completed in the next week. Pinnacle. Reach power level 1810 by earning Pinnacle rewards. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. Trial by Firing Squad. Win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. And a Trials weapon. Fleeting Glory. Complete Crucible matches in the competitive playlist. Earn bonus progress for wins. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. Dredging Up Victory. Complete Gambit matches. Earn bonus progress for wins. 4. Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Darkest Nightfall. Complete any Nightfall on Hero difficulty or higher. 4. Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. And a Nightfall weapon. Commendation Appreciation. Earn progress for giving 10 commendations in Vanguard, Crucible and Gambit activities. 4. Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Lost in Legend. Complete a Lost Sector on Legend or Master. 4. Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Acquire the Crucible ornament for the Ecliptic Distaff. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. Acquire the Gambit ornament for the Ecliptic Distaff. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. And acquire the Vanguard ornament for the Ecliptic Distaff. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. And speaking of Bright Dust, we have our final Eververse of the season for the week of May 16th, 2023. Available this week for Bright Dust we have the Torchlight exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust, the Triple Bogey exotic Sparrow for 2,500 Bright Dust, the Contender's Entrance legendary Transmat effect for 450 Bright Dust, the Photo Finish legendary shader for 300 Bright Dust, the Vibrant Medusa legendary shader for 300 Bright Dust, the Gladiator Blows exotic multiplayer emote for 4,250 Bright Dust, the Powerlift legendary emote for 700 Bright Dust, the Tug of War Shell exotic Ghost Shell for 2,850 Bright Dust, the Pistol Pose exotic Sparrow for 2,500 Bright Dust, the Victory's Herald exotic Ship for 2,000 Bright Dust, the Triumph exotic weapon ornament for the exotic heavy machine gun Heir Apparent for 1,250 Bright Dust, and finally the Trophy Projection legendary Ghost Projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. Just want to say thank you for checking out the video today. If you're enjoying this content and found it helpful and want to hear more, then please hit that subscribe button and check out our show over at twotitansandahunter.com.
Hello!
As a reminder, your daily Lost Sector will show you a flag outside, which will give you details of threats, shields, champions and exotic armour you will find inside. But if you're new to the game or you're using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the Lost Sector normally to have it show up on your map as a Legend/Master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team, but you will only be able to earn a chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. Tuesday, May 16th will be the Thrilladrome on Neptune for exotic helmets, Void Threat, Void and Strand Surges with Void and Arc Elemental Shields, Overcharged Grenade Launcher with Barrier and Overload Champions. Wednesday, May 17th will be the Hydroponics Delta on Neptune for exotic boots, Void Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with no Elemental Shields, Overcharged Rocket Launcher with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Thursday, May 18th will be the Gilded Preset on Neptune for exotic gauntlets, Arc Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void and Solar Elemental Shields, Overcharged Glaives with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Friday, May 19th will be the Excavation Site 12 on the EDZ for exotic chests, Solar Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Arc Elemental Shields, Overcharged Swords with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Saturday, May 20th will be the Skydock 4 on the EDZ for exotic helmets, Solar Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void Elemental Shields, Overcharged Shotgun with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Sunday, May 21st will be the Quarry on the EDZ for exotic boots, Void Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void and Solar Elemental Shields, Overcharged Grenade Launcher with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. And finally, background to Monday, May 22nd will be the Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City for exotic gauntlets, Stasis Threat, Solar and Strand Surges with Void Elemental Shields, Overcharged Shotgun with Unstoppable and Overload champions.
Lead the way.
The final week of the Grandmaster Nightfalls are here, which means if you already have your Conqueror Seal, you will be able to select whichever Grandmaster Nightfall you want in any order to gild your title. And with that, our 12th and final featured Nightfall will see us face off against Grask in the Lake of Shadows over on the EDZ, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. This Nightfall is free to play. You will be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and ascendant shards. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grandmasters. Legend and lower Nightfalls will have 5 Unstoppable and 5 Overload champions, with 5 Solar, 2 Void and 1 Arc shields. Masters will have 9 Unstoppable and 10 Overload, with 13 Solar, 6 Void and 5 Arc shields. Your Nightfall modifiers are Hero difficulty, maximum effective level 1765. Matchmaking is available. Enemies have extra shields. Champions foe. You will face Unstoppable and Overload champions. You can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff, or unlock anti-champion mods from this seasonal artifact. Void elemental threat, 25% increase to void incoming damage. Overcharge weapons. Weapons overcharged from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increased damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. An elemental surge, 25% bonus to outgoing elemental damage. Strand surge, 25% bonus to outgoing strand damage. Overcharged weapon, 25% bonus damage to a specific weapon. Galvanized, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun. Legend difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. No matchmaking. Denial, taken Vandals have more shields. Epitaph, taken enemies drop Blight Geysers on death. Equipment locked, you will be unable to change your equipment once the mission starts. Master difficulty, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Champions mob, this difficulty adds more champion enemies. Togetherness, base health regen is reduced. If near another player, health regen is increased. Grandmaster difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Joining progress disabled. Extinguish, if your fire team falls in a restricted zone, your team is returned to orbit. Limited revives, gain additional revives by defeating champions, up to a maximum of 20. Contest mode, which caps your power level to make enemies more of a challenge. And Chafe, radar is disabled. To combat champions this season, you have access to subclass counters as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods, which are Unstoppable Scout Rifle, Overload Bow, Overload Submachine Gun and Auto Rifle, and Medieval Champion, where glazed fire projectiles that stun Unstoppable champions, swords stun Overload champions on consecutive hits. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Unstoppable, the Kinetic Fusion Rifle Bastion, the Kinetic Hand Cannon Malfeasance, the Solar Energy Sidearm Devil's Ruin, the Void Heavy Bow Leviathan's Breath, and the Hunter Gauntlets Atheris's Embrace, which have a chance to stun Unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. And for Overload, the Void Energy Bow Le Monarch, the Arc Energy Linear Trace Rifle Divinity, the Arc Heavy Machine Gun Thunderlord, and the Warlock Exotic Boots the Secant Filaments, which when you drop an Empowering Rift, any weapon that is fired from inside the well can cause an Overload champion to be stunned. The final Nightfall featured weapon to obtain will be the Swarm. The Swarm is a high impact frame heavy machine gun with a base impact of 70, range of 69 and stability of 33. It can roll with Vorpal, tap the trigger and Zen Moment, with dynamic sway reduction, killing wind and one for all. It has the origin trait of Stunning Recovery, where if you stun a champion you partially refill the magazine, trigger health regen and improves your recovery for a short duration. And Vanguard Vindication, where final blows with the weapon grant a small amount of health. This will be the final week of the Gardian Games for 2023. Titans, Warlocks and Hunters will have one more week to battle it out and fight for glory across multiple game modes to find out who is the ultimate class. And available for one final week will be the Crucible mode for Gardian Games, Supremacy, with the option to matchmake by class. When launching this version of Supremacy, you can matchmake into a team comprised only by your class. So if you're a Hunter, you and 5 other Hunters will face a team of Warlocks or Titans. Every Guardian that falls will leave a class-based crest behind, and collecting those is the key to win each match, no matter if they were dropped by a defeated enemy or by a fallen comrade. Focus on recovering the crest to earn points and defeat the opposing classes. There is also a Supremacy quest and 4 torches in the Tower to Light. Gardian Games also brings with it some featured weapons like the 750 RPM aggressive frame submachine gun, the Title. The Title has a base impact of 22, range of 40 and stability of 20. It can roll with Repulsor Brace, Rangefinder and Vorpal, with Offhand Strike, Dynamic Sway Reduction and Threat Detector. And this year's featured Gardian Games weapon to obtain is the Strand Lightweight Frame Scout Rifle, Thraxipos. The Thraxipos has a base impact of 60, range of 30 and stability of 42. It can roll with Cascade Point, Hatchling and Kill Clip, with Offhand Strike, Zen Moment and Moving Target. Both weapons come with the origin trait of Classy Contender, where final blows grant class ability energy. So defend the honour of your class in the Gardian Games, deposit medallions at the podium and light those torches to earn your rewards. And Lord Shaxx brings Clash to the Relentless Crucible playlist for the 12th and final week of the season. Clash is a 6v6 PvP mode where level advantages are disabled. Points are gained through scoring kills against the opposing team. Players are not penalised for low map control and can bunker down together or fan out as they see fit. Strength in numbers is paramount as a lone player can be picked off very quickly by a team shooting enemies. Heavy ammo can swing the balance of a match, so controlling the bots can be the key to winning. Super usage both offensively and defensively is one way to break the deadlock.
Delightful!
And this will be the last weekend of Trials of Osiris before the new season. So don't forget to collect all of your items from Saint 14's reward track and engrams. Plus, this will be your last chance to grab the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Bow, Whistler's Whim, and Arc Pinpoint Slug Frame Shotgun, the Inquisitor. As a reminder, Trials of Osiris is a 3v3 PvP high stakes variant of Elimination. Only available from Friday Reset until Tuesday Weekly Reset, Trials gives every player the chance to show off their PvP skills to obtain some of Destiny's most sought after weapons and armour. Players that compete in the Trials of Osiris will have all of their games tracked to a passage card, a ticket purchased from Saint 14 in the lower hangar of the tower. Winning rounds and matches in Trials will grant exclusive weapons, armour, Pinnacle gear, Masterwork material and even Adept gear for the most skilled players who can reach the Lighthouse with a flawless ticket of 7 games won and no losses. 5 round wins will bag you that match for your passage card. By competing in Trials, you do have a chance to pick up 2 Pinnacle engrams from playing each week, one from 50 round wins and the other from winning 7 games. These do not have to be done all in one go, but you do have to complete them before the weekly reset.
That is amazing.
As this is the final week of the season, we will be seeing the return of double XP across all playlists: Vanguard, Gambit and Crucible. So if you need that extra boost to get your rank reset, or Ecliptic Distaff Glaive, Aegon Spindle Ornament, Vermeil Spindle Ornament and Virescent Spindle Ornament, then this will be your last chance to do that. Also, with this being the final week of the season, don't forget to collect all of your Season of Defiance pass items, any items left over from the Season of the Ceres season pass from Bungie.net, plus your reward track items and engrams from Banshee 44, Gunsmith, Shaxx, Crucible, Zavala, Vanguard, Drifter, Gambit, and Saint 14 Trials before the end of the season, as they will reset and you will lose all of your items when the new season starts. And that's it for the final week of Season of Defiance. See you in the deep, Guardians. Allons-y!
Guardian down.